Aru Kael 2, Echoes of the Void. The hunt never ended. Chapter 1. The World of the Forgotten. The silence, that's the first thing he hears. No human voices. No Kaer Duun winds. Only the echo of gods, or maybe the echo of hell itself. Aru Kael awakens. His lungs burn as if breathing liquid fire. He tries to move, but energy cuffs glow around his wrists, cold metal chains biting deep into his bones. Fragments flash across his mind. The lightning. The explosion. Nyrra's voice screaming his name. The moment he crossed the portal. And then, nothing. Aru opens his eyes. The ceiling breathes, an organic structure, pulsing with green light. He's not in Kaer Duun. He's inside a technological nightmare. Where am I? The voice that escapes his mouth barely sounds human. The rise among the dead. A golden shimmer blinds him, a reflection on liquid glass. He forces his body to move and sees something horrifying. Blue crystal veins spreading beneath his skin, like mineral roots digging deeper with every breath. The power of Kaer Duun still lives within him, but now it's consuming him. Guardian? A woman's voice calls to him, soft, distant. Guardian of what? Everything's dead. He flinches as cold, white light floods the room, and then, impossibility itself. A colossal hangar stretches before him, filled with abandoned ships and thousands of suspended capsules, each holding the silhouette of a fallen warrior. Some human. Some unnameable. Gladium IV, an artificial voice announces. Containment zone of the fallen champions. Rule 1. To fight is to exist. Rule 2. To live is to win. The gaze of the watchers. High above, warped silhouettes move behind translucent panels. The flesh cartographers, collectors of worlds, now captivated by their new trophy, Subject 07, Aru Kael, the Godslayer. Their voices slip through the air like scratched glass. The last guardian awakens. The Kaer Duun samples are reacting. Begin the next experiment. The ground vanishes. Aru's body is pulled out of the chamber, dragged through a gravitational current like dust in a storm. He crashes onto a shifting red plain that reeks of fresh iron. The horizon is an eternal night, 2 dead moons, a forest burning black, and stone towers that seem to move on their own. Where is Kaer Duun? A distant laugh rolls across the sky. The captors answer, cold and metallic. Your world now watches your fall. The pact of blood and iron. Aru struggles for air as shadows move within the nearby fog. Dozens of warriors emerge, scarred, hungry, armed with scraps of steel. Some eyes hold fear. Others, hunger for battle. An old Zorathian soldier steps forward. You're the man of storms. The one who destroyed Vornak. And you, Aru growls, are the kind who caged me. Silence. Heavy, unbearable. Behind them, the mechanical voice returns. Welcome to the world of the forgotten. Only one shall return. The portal opens for the victor. Fight or fade. And thus begins the new inferno. A world where time itself bends for the watchers. And life is nothing but spectacle. Aru lifts his head, eyes blazing with defiance. If it's a show you want, then watch what happens when you fight a man who once hunted gods. The camera pulls back slowly. A battle cry slices through the darkness. The mist closes in. And so, the hunter became the hunted, in a world where even hope forgot its name. Chapter 2. The Collar of Chains. Prison. Not built of walls, but of pulses. Not of bars, but of obedient blood. The shadow of slavery. Aru wakes from the shock of his fall. The crimson sky glows with vertical lightning, each bolt slicing the planet like a surgeon's blade. Metallic dust fills the air. Breathing it burns. But the worst part isn't the air. It's the sound. A constant hum vibrates from inside him. The collar. Cold, alive, pulsing with veins that root beneath the skin around his neck. It feels like a parasite, or perhaps a symbiotic creature feeding on his soul. Other warriors bear the same sentence. Each collar glows a different color, red, gold, violet, yet all emit the same piercing hiss. Then a voice descends from the heavens, like the chorus of long-dead gods. The chains have been activated. Each heartbeat is recorded. Each breath measured. Try to escape, and silence will be your inheritance. A warrior tries to cut his collar off with a blade. There's a single crack. White light. Then, burnt flesh and screams tearing through the air. The headless body collapses. The collar remains on the ground, still pulsing, as if waiting for its next host. The voice in the metal. As the echoes fade, Aru realizes something. The collar speaks. Not in words, but in impulses, electric, rhythmic sensations. Someone, or something, is watching him through it. He closes his eyes and listens. A frenzy of overlapping signals fills his mind. Laughter, broken transmissions, and a repeating command. Fight. Adapt. Evolve. Who are you? Aru shouts at the sky. The reply comes as pain. The collar tightens, choking him, alive, constricting like a metal serpent. He drops to his knees, eyes blazing blue. Through agony, the power of Kaer Duun ignites once more. Light spills from his veins, and the collar begins to smoke. Nearby, a warrior stumbles back. He's burning the chains. How is that possible? But the collar doesn't break. It changes. As the planet's energy courses through Aru's blood, the black metal turns translucent, crystalline. It doesn't attack. It watches. So that's what you want, Aru mutters. To see what happens when a god bleeds. The invisible spectators. Far above the planet, aboard the Flesh Cartographer's ship, amorphous beings hover before vast holographic displays of symbols and frequency maps. The chief analyst, a shifting, jelly-like creature, adjusts the data crystal. Subject 07, resilience at 112% above average. Kaer Duun fusion with Vornak code remains stable. He adapts. He learns. A taller figure with a metallic skull murmurs. But he still feels. That's what makes him dangerous. Warriors feel. Monsters obey. Around them stretch thousands of glowing prison chambers, each holding a chained fighter. The tournament is broadcast across the galaxy. Blood is entertainment. And Aru Kael, the main spectacle. Sparks of rebellion. In the prison field below, sharp cracks cut through the air, energy whips punishing those who refuse to fight. Above, the sky glows with holographic projections of death counts, rankings, and live wagers. Nyrra, the Varathi warrior, stumbles beside Aru. Her mutilated wings drip with blood. She looks up, voice trembling with fury. They treat us like beasts. But beasts bite when they're set free. Aru glances at her. There's no freedom here. No sky. Only invisible strings binding our souls. She gives a tired smile. Then let's burn those strings. Their collars flicker, a glitch, a brief rupture in the synchronization field. For a heartbeat, they feel something like freedom. The collars glow blue, the same hue as the Kaer Duun runes. The planet responds. Distant forests ripple, whispering in resonance. Something alive out there answers. The first trial. A metallic thunder rolls across the horizon. Towers ignite. Panels rise from the ground. The watcher's voice echoes again. Commencing the game of chains. 100 enter. Only one breathes at cycle's end. Let blood decide who earns return. The soil shifts. Stone structures reassemble, the very ground breathing, opening like a mouth. Warriors scatter in every direction. Aru and Nyrra ready themselves. The wind howls. The remnants of his old humanity merge with the predator's instinct, the one he inherited from Vornak. His eyes ignite. His blood sings. And for the first time since Kaer Duun, he wants to fight. In the world of chains, freedom is bought with death. And Aru Kael was never good at losing. Chapter 3. The Forest That Bleeds. Gladium IV has never known silence. Even when the wind dies, something keeps listening. The Red Veil. Aru and Nyrra walk across the twisted plains, their collars vibrating with every step. On the horizon rises the forest, a living mass of dense growth, where the roots look like veins and the leaves exhale crimson mist. The ground is damp, soft, pulsing like warm flesh. I smell old blood here, murmurs Nyrra. Aru studies the terrain. This forest feeds on the dreams of those who want to go home. The mechanical voice of the cartographers speaks from the sky. Sector 5. Commencing Survival Test 2. No victors recorded. The forest devoured them all. Their collars flash. The twilight collapses into shadow. The jungle's soundscape twists into a chorus of horror, bones snapping, flesh tearing, laughter warped by static. They step inside. The sound beneath the ground. The first hour is pure tension. The forest reshapes itself as they move. The trees seem to watch. The wind stops each time they take a deep breath. But the danger isn't above them. It's below. The earth collapses. Aru falls, rolling down a muddy fissure tangled with roots. Nyrra tries to follow, but a living tendril coils around her ankle and drags her back. She screams his name. Aru hits the bottom, mud and black bile splattering across his armor. And in the silence, something breathes. Heavy. He raises his spear. The sound grows closer. Two shadows move. Then a massive shape slithers from the dark, golden eyes. A body covered in spikes and translucent tissue, like living crystal. The beast. The guardian of the forest. It doesn't hunt out of hunger, but pain. Around it lie dozens of torn collars, half buried in the mud like trophies. Aru realizes it hunts the marked. The instruments of the cartographers. The first clash. The beast charges, roaring like thunder. Aru dives aside, barely. Claws the size of blades tear open the ground beside him. He swings his spear. It strikes, but only scratches. A blow from the creature's paw sends him crashing into a root wall. The impact nearly shatters his ribs. His collar flashes red, signaling to the watchers that the show has begun. For the mothership, it's spectacle. For Aru Kael, it's survival. The beast grabs him by the shoulder, lifting him until their faces nearly touch, burning gold eyes, breath smelling of metal and rot. But before the killing strike, a blinding flash. A human roar. Out of the scarlet mist strides a warrior, his body wrapped in living sheets of biotech armor. Vornak, the most dreaded gladiator of Gladium IV. The immortal champion of the dishonored rings. They call him the Sun Devourer. He smirks behind a translucent mask. I told them I'd be the last one standing. He plunges his pulsating blade between the creature's ribs. The sound is unbearable. Its glowing, viscous blood erupts in an acid storm that melts the ground. Dazed, Aru tries to rise. Vornak shoves him aside, laughing. You fought gods. Now you face a man who sold his soul. Blood and choice. The beast's roar fades. Its golden eyes dim. Aru feels something strange, not pity, but recognition. He remembers Vornak dying beneath the ruins of an ancient ship. The cycle repeating. Vornak raises his blade for the final strike. Aru moves between them. The weapon slashes his arm, burning to the bone. Step aside, trash. If you kill what you don't understand, you'll never conquer what made you. Light like molten Kaer Duun floods through his veins. Aru drives his spear through Vornak's arm, deflecting the blow. The impact ignites in a flash that blinds them all. The beast shudders, retreats, but doesn't flee. With one last roar, it disappears into the forest, thunder echoing in its wake. Vornak collapses to his knees, helmet cracked, still breathing. Aru staggers, wounded, watching the trail of the fading creature, golden streaks of ancient power bleeding into the earth. That night, Aru Kael learned that courage and instinct are not enemies. They are threads of the same fate. And that the true enemy still breathed. The Pact of Shadows. Hours later, deep in the dripping dark, the beast returns. It moves slowly toward him, Aru, bloodied and broken under the rain. He looks up, prepared to die. But it doesn't strike. It simply looks at him. And in its eyes, he sees the same blue glow that once shimmered across the waters of Kaer Duun. He reaches out. The touch is simple, almost human. Warmth flows up his wounded arm. The blue flame seals his flesh, silencing the pain. You understand, don't you? He whispers. We're remnants of worlds that forgot their names. The creature tilts its head, breathing deep. High above, the cartographers watch. Initiating protocol, anomalous alliance. The Guardian and the primordial Alpha have joined forces. Aru stands, meets the creature's golden eye, and says, "If you want to live, fight by my side. Because hell has just begun." Chapter 4, The Broken Pact. Not every pact is born of trust. Some are forged from necessity, others from fear of what comes after. The dawn of ashes. When day rises on Gladium IV, the sun doesn't warm, it watches. In the crystalline canopy, the dew burns like liquid fire. Aru's lungs ache with every breath. Beside him, the beast lies silent, its chest rising and falling slowly, exhaling golden vapor from the wounds still open along its flank. Nyrra approaches, careful, her spear trembling in her hands. "You protect it now? It didn't attack me. It saved me." How can something save what it once tried to kill? Because it learned, like I did, that the real monsters don't live down here. High above, the cartographers analyze the feed. The Guardian has established emotional interaction. Psychic link confirmed. Exploit cooperation variable between species. Amplify external conflict stimulus. A red symbol flashes across the collars. Next phase active. The voices of the hunter. While tending to the beast, binding its wounds with roots and molten crystal, Aru feels the planet vibrate beneath him. But the voice he hears comes from within. You think of survival. I think of remembering what was lost. He closes his eyes. The voice isn't sound, it's intent. The beast's thoughts resonate inside his mind. "You understand me?" he asks silently. The creature bends its head close, snout brushing his hand. "Are half of us." For a heartbeat, blue and gold eyes connect, and the entire forest darkens around them. Visions flood his mind, burning battlefields, cartographers harvesting DNA from dead worlds, chained creatures forced before dimensional gates. The beast had seen it all. The two had been hunted. They made us gladiators, to watch us fall. Then let them watch us rise. The enemy without honor. Far to the north, Vornak recovers. His body, already more machine than man, regenerates through metallic grafts that knit themselves together. He tastes his own blood and smiles bitterly. The flavor of memory infuriates and excites him. He turns to a squad of brutal exiles. Aru Kael has done the unthinkable. He's allied with the enemy. Today he dies, and whoever brings me his head earns my command. The warriors roar, following him like wolves. Even the jungle bends before their march. A cartographer observer studies the thermal map and grins. Perfect. The Guardian believes he has an ally. Time to teach him what trust means in hell. The pact under fire. Hours later, Aru, Nyrra, and the beast, now named Thirak, follow the echoes of an ancient ruin. Metallic pillars etched with Zarathian symbols twist into a labyrinth. Inside, they find shelter. The air is heavy with ancient remorse, the ghosts of the first arena. "This was an altar," says Nyrra. "An altar to what?" "To regret." She touches a corroded panel. It flares to life, projecting holograms, wars, dead planets, nameless faces. At the center, carved words. "Honor is the last illusion." Aru closes his eyes. "Then it's the only one I'll keep." Then, thunderous footsteps. "Vornak, Guardian," he bellows, echoing through the ruins. "Game's over. The audience wants blood. And I want a trophy." Aru raises his spear. Thirak growls loud enough to shake the walls. Nyrra draws her bow. Aru looks at the beast and whispers, "Without you, I can't win. With you, maybe we survive. Now, let's fight." The unexpected battle. The attack is brutal. Vornak and his warriors descend from the columns, hurling energy blades. Aru blocks one, but the shock cracks his ribs. Thirak charges, claws tearing through stone, sparks igniting wherever metal meets flesh. The roar shakes the ruins. Chaos erupts, blue fire from Aru, golden blood from the beast, and the crimson light of Vornak's weapons merging into a storm of war and survival. Nyrra is thrown backward, lost amid collapsing debris. Aru tries to reach her, but Vornak intercepts, eyes glowing cold and mechanical. This is your honor, Kael? Kneeling to a beast. No. It's fighting for what we choose, not for what they command us to kill. Aru strikes hard. 30 lunges beside him, man and beast moving as one, a synchronized storm tearing the ground apart. But Vornak doesn't fall. He laughs, bleeding but unbroken. I like it. Now let's see if the Guardian bleeds again. Chains snap through the air, metal serpents coiling around Aru and Vornak's field traps them both within a dazzling prison of light and iron. In the War of the Forgotten, trust is just another trap. And even the gods learn that too late. Chapter 5, Chains of the Gladiator. The strongest chains aren't forged of metal. They're woven from desperation, and the lies we tell ourselves to survive. The Gladiator's prison. The energy field hums like a living cage, trapping Aru and Thirak in Vornak's glowing web of chains. Sparks dance across their skin as the Gladiator circles them, his cracked helmet reflecting the blue fire in Aru's veins. Thirak strains against the bonds, her golden eyes blazing with fury, but the field tightens, drawing pained growls from her throat. You two make quite the pair, Vornak sneers, his voice distorted through the mask. Man and monster, bound by, what? Mercy? Aru grits his teeth, feeling the Kaer Duun power surge but held back by the collar's crystalline grip. Call it what you want. It's more than you've got left. From the ruins above, Nyrra's voice crackles faintly over a hidden calm, weak, but alive. Aru, hold on. I'm coming. High in orbit, the cartographers lean closer to their displays. Subject 07 and Primordial Alpha contained. Vornak's field integrity at 87%. Audience engagement spiking, prolong the standoff. Whispers in the trap. Minutes stretch into eternity within the force field. Aru's mind links with Thirak's again, not words, but flashes, her memories of being hunted across shattered worlds, collared like him, twisted by the same architects of suffering. We break this together, her intent pulses. Or not at all. Vornak paces, his biotech graphs whirring as they repair his wounds. He taps the side of his helmet, projecting holographic kill scores into the air. His tally dwarfs the others. I've won arenas you can't imagine, Kael. Suns devoured. Gods broken. And you? You pet a beast and call it alliance. Aru locks eyes with him. Winning's easy when you have nothing left to lose. I'm fighting for more than a score. The Gladiator laughs, cold and mechanical. Then watch your more die first. A low rumble shakes the ruins. The planet stirs, forests whispering in response to the collar's distress signal. Nyrra's gambit. Debris shifts in the shadows. Nyrra emerges, bloodied wings dragging, her bow drawn with a glowing energy arrow. She fires, not at Vornak, but at a corroded altar panel nearby. The ancient Zorathian tech overloads, sending an electromagnetic pulse rippling outward. The force field flickers. Chains loosen just enough. Thirak roars and shatters her bonds with a claw swipe, golden blood spraying as she lunges free. Aru breaks loose next, spear igniting in blue flame, but Vornak is ready. His pulsating blade clashes against the spear in a shower of sparks. You think that changes anything? Vornak growls, shoving Aru back. This is my arena. Nyrra notches another arrow. Not anymore. Her shot pierces Vornak's shoulder graft, disrupting his regeneration. He staggers, cursing. The cartographers' voices chime in alarm. Interference detected. External variable, Varathi survivor. Adjust protocols. Unleash auxiliary threats. Beasts of the ruins. The ground splits. From the cracks swarm biomechanical horrors. Scorpion-like drones fused with organic venom sacs, spawned by Gladium IV's defense systems. They skitter toward the group, tails lashing plasma whips. 30 meets them head-on, crushing shells underfoot, her roars drowning out the hiss of acid sprays. Aru and Nyrra fight back-to-back, his spears sweeping wide arcs of blue energy, her arrows exploding on impact. Vornak seizes the chaos, directing a cluster of drones toward them while slipping into the shadows. Fight your pets, Guardian. I'll claim the kill later. One drone latches onto Aru's leg, injecting fire through his veins. He roars, smashing it apart, but the venom amplifies the collar's pulse, forcing visions of Kaer Duun's fall. Nyrra pulls him up. Stay with us. We end this now. Thirak bounds over, her claw cauterizing the wound with golden heat. The pain fades, their bond strengthens. Betrayals edge. Vornak reappears atop a crumbling pillar, chains retracting into his armor. He hurls a barrage, not at Aru, but at Thirak, wrapping her legs and yanking her toward a pit of glowing magma. You first, beast. Aru dives, spear slicing the chains midair. He grabs Thirak's flank, both tumbling free as the links melt in the heat. Enraged, Vornak leaps down. The three collide in a whirlwind. Aru's precise strikes, Thirak's savage swipes, Vornak's brutal hacks. Nyrra provides cover fire, but a drone clips her wing. She crashes, unconscious. The collars synchronize, flashing red, phase escalation. Towers ignite around the ruins, broadcasting the brawl galaxy-wide. Vornak pins Aru against a wall, blade at his throat. Yield and I make it quick. Aru's eyes glow brighter. Never. Kaer Duun energy surges, cracking Vornak's blade. The Gladiator reels back, shocked. Thirak pounces, slamming him into the dirt. But Vornak activates a hidden failsafe. His collar pulses violet, summoning reinforcements, shadowy exiles from his pack, eyes hungry for the bounty. Finish them, he commands, retreating into the mist. Aru helps Nyrra to her feet as Thirak stands guard. The exiles close in, weapons raised. The planet's pulse quickens. Distant horns blare. The next trial looms. In Gladium IV, every victory births a deeper hell. And Aru Kael's greatest foe wears the face of survival itself. In Gladium IV, the chains tighten, but the Guardian doesn't break. Vornak schemes in the shadows, the cartographers watch hungrily, and the portal home glows ever more distant. What happens when the hunter becomes the hunted, and the beast becomes the only ally? If that insane battle got your blood pumping, smash that like, comment, Aru wins, and subscribe so you don't miss the massacre coming next. The cartographers unleash the sentinels. Vornak commands the legions. Aru, Nyrra, and Thirak against the full forces of hell. Do you think the Guardian makes it back to Kaer Duun? Drop it in the comments and we'll see you in the next one.